Hey guys, Coach Ian here with Legacy Endurance, helping you run further, faster, and more focused. And this week we're going to talk about being faster and specifically get into threshold training. Stick around.
Ready, set, go!
Okay, so today we're talking threshold training, and this is something you need to really focus on if you want to get faster. Maybe you're looking to Boston qualify, maybe you're looking to just speed up your time, maybe you're just looking to go to that next level. So threshold training should be an important component of your training. And now, what are we talking about when we're talking about threshold?
Say what?
Typically your threshold or your lactic threshold, or you've maybe heard it described as anaerobic threshold, sits somewhere between your 10K race effort and your half marathon race effort, somewhere in between there. In a video I shared before, and I'll link it up above here, I got into the science and a little bit more details of what's going on in the body when you're sitting at that anaerobic or your lactic threshold. So take a look at that afterwards, but also for the purpose of this video, we want to talk about how do you train. So somewhere in between that 10K and the half marathon effort is where your threshold would sit. So to be able to develop that threshold, we have to train at that. So one classic workout you can do is what's called a tempo run. And that's really at that threshold, sort of going out and sort of being at that pace. So say for example, you could run your 10K at 6 minutes per kilometer, 1 hour for 10K. That might mean you run your half marathon around 6:25 per kilometer or 2 hours 15 minutes. So your tempo pace, if you're trying to figure that out, is somewhere probably in between there, maybe a 6 minutes and 10 seconds per kilometer, for example. So you would go out and train at that pace, that intensity for say 20 minutes, 25 minutes, no longer than 30 minutes you do at a steady state, and you'll be sitting right at that threshold. And the purpose is to train your body to deal with its ability to flush out, clear that lactic acid, deal with the lactic acid that's building up at that higher intensity. When we're running easy, lactic acid is not typically building up or pooling. So that's the purpose of that tempo workout. So you find it by sort of getting in the between those two different pace ranges. That's where a tempo run would sort of come in, and that's something that's very easy to do. It should be, when I say it's easy, it doesn't feel easy. It should be somewhere in that medium to hard effort. So that's where it's not a sprint by any stretch. Comfortably uncomfortable is kind of how I describe that to my athletes. So somewhere in between those two, we're spending some time at that threshold. The second workout you can do that really focuses in on your threshold training is what's called cruise intervals. So cruise intervals are very similar. They'd be just a little quicker or very close to your tempo pace, maybe a little bit faster. So if using that same example of someone that might be between a 1 hour 10K and a 2 hour 15 minute half marathon, where your 10K race pace might be at that 6 minutes, well, you might be working at your closer to that end of the range versus being at a 6:10 in your tempo run. You might be sort of 5:55 per kilometer, 6 minutes per kilometer is where you'd conduct your cruise intervals. Now what a cruise interval is the benefit of that is you can spend more time at a bit of a higher intensity because you take little breaks in between. So you might go out and run kilometer repeats or mile repeats at that pace, and you can do that multiple times. So you actually might spend more time at that threshold level because you're taking little breaks. So you might take if you're using the example of running kilometer repeats, you might run a kilometer, take a 90-second break, run another kilometer, take a 90-second break. You might actually be able to do more time at that intensity compared to doing a typical tempo run where you might just go out and do that 20 minutes. So you can spend way more time, for example, at that cruise pace. So cruise intervals are a great way to really stress your threshold in a different way from tempo runs. So you can mix those two in between in your training program and use both of those to really work on building out that threshold. So again, it's how we start to tell our body or teach our body to deal with that lactic acid that's building up. As we get older, our ability to sort of stay fit, stay fast really counts on how well we can sort of maintain that threshold. So it's an important part of your training is to really focus on that if you want to be faster. So that's your tip of the week, you guys. Focus in some time in your training on building your threshold. Super important if you want to get faster. It's one way that you can really sort of take yourself to that next level is by building your body's ability to deal with that lactic acid in a way more efficient way. So hopefully that helps you in your training. If you have any questions, if you need some help sort of figuring out how do you figure out where your individual, your personal threshold pace should be at, comment below. I can help you out with that. If you've got any other questions, comments, I'd love it if you do that. Click the like button below, subscribe so I can keep pushing out videos every single week. And if there's something that you'd like me to talk about in future videos, share that below as well. Thanks for watching. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next time.